I think one of the biggest things that held me back from starting my print-on-demand business, even though there was very little upfront investment with it, was I was so in my head about worst case scenarios. I mean, literally everything from like, I'll never be able to figure out the tax portion to like, what happens if I get a bad review to what happens if this, what happens if that. I was spiraling in this way that I had just fully convinced myself of the worst case scenario happening every single time I made a decision with my business. What I want to encourage you to do is make the shift from thinking about what's the worst thing that can happen to what's the best thing that could happen. This is obviously so much easier said than done, but there is so much about starting a business that nobody knows the first time they start a business. You figure it out as you go. Whenever those first times came up in my business, like the first time I got a bad review or the first time I had to pay quarterly income tax, I figured out how to do it. And I had convinced myself that I was never going to be able to do it. And that's so not true. No one is just born knowing how to file quarterly taxes. You figure it out just like you do everything else in your life. Stop letting your fear of not being able to figure things out hold you back from starting. You can figure it out. I figured it out. You're going to be fine. There's so much better things ahead than just this fear of the worst case scenario that's completely holding you back from the really good things that are probably more likely to happen.